Hello students, today we go to chapter 4, which is actually called reproductions. In this section we are going to look at the type of reproduction, but before that let's look at the definition of reproduction. So according to your textbook, do you know what is reproduction is? Reproduction is the process of producing new individuals from living organisms. So that's the definition. And in fact, reproduction is a basic characteristic of living organisms, which means it is actually another word for that is actually means it's a living process. Now there are two types of reproductions that you're going to study. There will be a sexual reproduction and as well as asexual. Now asexual reproductions, they do not involve reproductive cells. They happens in plants and simple organisms. Simple means one cell or unicellular or very simple organisms that are small and not complex. On the other hand, sexual reproduction will involve reproductive cells. Later we'll look what is these reproductive cells. They happens in higher animals like humans and of course in plants. So these are the two types of reproduction that you're going to learn. And I repeat, is sexual and asexual. You must know the differences. We start by looking at sexual reproduction. Now, in sexual reproduction, is the main type of reproduction that is carried by humans, higher animals, and plants. And what happens during sexual reproductions? Well, there will be two parents involved, a male and a female. It will be requiring fertilizations, and you have new individual or the offspring produced are different from the parents, and it can produces or has variations in the process. So these are the main characteristics of sexual reproductions. Let's look at the two parents requirement. The parents are from male, which actually produces the reproductive cells here. The male reproductive cell or the male gamete is called the sperm. So these are called the reproductive cells. This female, it comes from the reproductive cell is known as the ovum, and this comes from the ovary. For the male, I forgot to mention, the sperm comes from the testes. So you have a male and female parents in sexual reproductions. Now fertilization is required because you have two different reproductive cells. So what is fertilization? Fertilization is a process where the nucleus of the male gamete fuses or joins with the nucleus of the female gamete. So in other words, if I put it in simple terms, we have the male gamete. Okay, fuse means plus together with the female. And the joining process is called fertilizations. Now there are two types of fertilizations. We are called internal fertilization and external fertilizations. And as a student, you must know the difference between internal and external. It's very easy. We already know that fertilization involves the fusion of the nucleus of the male and female. The only difference between internal and external is where it happens. Internal means, it's the word internal means inside. So it takes place inside the female body. So that's why it's explained here. Nucleus of the male gamete fuses with the nucleus of the female gamete inside. You can see, I can even highlight it, inside the body of the female parent. On the other hand, external fertilizations, the nucleus of the male gamete fuses with the nucleus of the female gamete outside the body of the female parents. Okay, places of fusion, we already know this one have to be inside and outside. So this will be inside the female parent, and this will be outside. But because it's happening outside, you must not cannot be in air, so you have most of it is happening in the water. Okay. So when it is fertilized inside, the male gamete from the male reproductive organs will be released into the female reproductive organs, which has a female gamete and the fuses to form a zygote. Okay, so after fertilization, so this is the male plus the female, so you form a zygote, and this happens inside the female body where the sperm has to swim over to the female ovum. For external fertilization, it's the same thing. The male gametes usually swim towards the ovum, but this takes place outside. You can see in this diagram here. Yes. So you can see the sperm is going towards the ovum here by swimming, but take place outside the female body. Okay. So with this, we continue on to asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, occurs in simple organisms like amoeba, paramecium, and hydra. Plants like onion, ginger, and potatoes also reproduces asexually. The characteristic of asexual reproduction will be involving one parent, fertilization not occur. The new individual produced is genetically identical, means it's a carbon copy of the parents, and of course there will be no variations. There's no differences between the parents and the offspring. Now in your textbook on page 95, you have this summarization of the different process of asexual reproduction. Take note that the simple organisms, they uses binary fission, budding, and regeneration. So please read that. It is on page 95 of your textbook. So I recommend you to read it or even make notes from here. The last processes where we have spore formation and vegetative reproduction, these were for plants. So again, please read them and take notes for your own use. Very important. When you study science, you take your own notes. So please read this on page 95. Now, a little bit more on vegetative reproduction is that this one happens for flowering plants, because flowering plant can produce sexually, but it can also produce vegetatively. But it only involves either the roots or the stem or the leaf. So root-wise, which means the part of the root will reproduce asexually. No need to do any fertilizations. You can see, for example, carrot plants and sweet potatoes can do that. For stem, stem has many meaning or many names. They can be called underground stem, or they can even be called runner, or they can be called bulb, depending on the plant. For underground stem like potatoes, runners like strawberry or grasses or lalang, you can call them. Onion, they have this bulb, just like a bulb means like this, just like this. So this is called a bulb. Leaf, you have seen this on your own. Probably, you take a leaf as a bookmark, and those leaves can reproduce asexually by forming new plants for the bulb. After that, this bulb will drop away and form a new plant and give a new individual. So we end this section by looking at the importance of reproduction. As you understand, reproduction is a producing of new individual. So it's important because it helps to increase the number of the organism, means the population. Besides that, it also prevent the extinction of the species. Then in reproduction, especially the sexual mode, it produces variation. Which is very important for process of that's what we call evolution. This is something extra, but you don't worry about it. So we end this section here. Then we do a little bit of exercise. Thank you.